Hey guys, it's Danny with Engadget. I'm here with the HP Folio. This is HP's first and long-awaited Ultrabook, and of course I'm eager to give you a quick first look. So right away I want to get the weight and the dimensions out of the way. This is a 3.3 pound machine. It is 18 millimeters thick, which makes it a little bit heavier and a little bit thicker than some other Ultrabooks you've seen, but there's a good reason for that. This thing is pretty well stocked with ports, and that's one of the first things I want to show you here. Moving along to this side here, you have a spare USB 2.0 port followed by a headphone jack. On this back edge here, nothing but the vent. Here you have the power port, of course. You've got an Ethernet jack, which you won't find on all Ultrabooks, maybe some. HDMI you'll find on some, but not all. USB 3.0, and a memory card reader. And all in all, even though it's a little bit heavier, I really can't appreciate the difference right now holding it in one hand, maybe if it were a side-by-side test, but it still feels very light and portable. And one of the things is this has a soft touch coating on the bottom, which makes it very grippy, again, if I'm holding it in one hand. So moving on to design, everyone's favorite part, you'll see that it has this brushed metal finish on the lid, just very elegant, understated design. When I set it down and open it, you'll see that metal continues on the inside, and it's really a very spare, minimal design. On top, you have the Dolby speakers built into the hinge, and you've got that lone power port there, but otherwise this thing is devoid of any extraneous buttons or flourishes or switches or anything like that. You'll see that it has this scooping near the keyboard, which makes it reminiscent of other HP machines we've seen, everything down to the Mini 210 netbook. It really has a similar design there in many ways. Like other HP laptops you've seen, it has this large, spacious trackpad with integrated touch buttons, and I've been told that this is a pre-production unit, so I'm not going to say anything about the quality or the precision of the touchpad right now. We'll wait until we get this in for a full review. Speaking of the keyboard, this has, of course, a chiclet layout, as you can see, and in my brief time typing with it, it felt very sturdy, and the keys had some bounce to them. But again, I want to really actually take this home for a review and write my full review on it before I give you the full spill there. Talking about the display, this is a 13.3-inch 1366 by 768 display, and when I first saw it, I actually thought this had LG Shuriken. This was an LG Shuriken display just because the bezels are so narrow. They're a lot narrower than you would see on a traditional system. It's actually not a Shuriken display, but nonetheless, whatever you want to call it, the bezels are pretty narrow, and that's one of the first things I noticed actually when HP opened this notebook for me. Quick note about specs, this is really competitively priced. It starts at $900, and when HP told me that, I thought they were going to say that it comes with a traditional hard drive, but actually it comes standard with a 128 gigabyte SSD, which you would have to pay definitely usually over $1,000 for. And it has a backlit keyboard standard, whereas other Ultrabooks don't even have a backlit keyboard necessarily. So it's not turned on now, but if I press F5, you'll see it lights up, and that is a standard feature, and it's very nice. In terms of battery life, HP is promising up to 9.5 hours, which of course we'll test in a full review. And speaking of full review, we cannot wait to get this in, but for now, this has been our first look at the HP Folio. Thanks, guys.